Right, so driving and firing are both high arts, like martial arts. Gentleness is key, and thinking ahead is key, especially with the fire. Always think 20 steps ahead. When everything is correct, the driver, the fireman, and the locomotive become one unified life form. So, driving anyway. First thing to know, the big blanks for the tires that go around the driving wheels are expensive and very hard to find. So any wheel slip is to be avoided. Starting must be gentle. There are several ways to ensure this. Of course, the first thing we need to do is make sure the cylinders are free of water. Okay, so we start in full gear with the drains open, especially if you're starting for the first time in a while and the cylinders have grown cold. We're going to be very gentle. So you feel when the locomotive is fired and the pressure is up, you'll feel when the valve, you'll feel and hear when the valve opens, and then it'll fill the superheater. So when you hear the steam begin to flow and the locomotive doesn't move, don't keep pulling back. Don't keep pulling back. Just let the steam move and wait for it, and you'll find the locomotive slowly begins to move. This will avoid wheel slip. If the rails are wet or covered in grease or oil and you fear a slip, right? First thing, when you even suspect the slip is beginning, shut. So by the sound, you catch it early, okay? There's another way. If when starting, especially if wet rails, oily rails, we're going to set just a little bit of brake. So the shoes just come onto the wheels. Then, when we begin, the brakes will arrest the wheels from spinning, but also they will brush the wheels clean of water or oil. This is helpful to you. Okay, so as you start, and you feel now you're at a speed where the slip is less likely, get rid of the brake. Get rid of the brake. Now we can continue. And as I showed you on the diagram in the cylinder, now we're going to start pulling the reverser back to protect the crank pins of the wheels, to not waste steam or water or fuel, and to make the locomotive. The other thing is, if you leave this at full gear, the locomotive will actually begin to choke on its own exhaust because the steam can only flow so fast, and if the steam cannot get out of the cylinders and up the chimney fast enough, the locomotive will actually begin to fight itself. So this is why we come back toward neutral. And then the correct way to run, when you have the main line, clear signals, and everything is okay in front of you, the way to control the locomotive is regulator all the way open. You only control with the reverse. So with the regulator all the way open, right? This is how we handle hills and speed, because the regulator, steam will expand across a valve, a van that is partially open. High pressure, low pressure, okay? If the expansion of the steam is not occurring in the engine cylinders and instead occurring at the throttle valve, useful energy is lost. So when out on the main line, we control the locomotive with the valve timing, and the regulator is open. Now, I see a yellow signal or some signal that is not line clear. We're going to coast and zow, oil. The steam atomizes the oil so that it can be carried to the cylinders. Coasting, Free rolling with the regulator all the way shut is bad because the oil will not be delivered all the way around the cylinder and the valve. So when we coast, we give just a little steam. We also put that in full gear. Now we control with the brake. Right, no locomotive, only the train brakes doing the work. And then we hold it, keep this. And now, you know, if we don't intend to stop, release the brake. Let the locomotive coast with just enough steam to carry the lubrication oil to the cylinders. Yes?
Okay.
Okay.